Hello world, Topless Cat Lady here, and before I get started on the topic of this video, I want to make a little disclaimer about comments. The comments will need to be approved before they're being posted, and this is to avoid ignorant, racist, sexist, and hateful comments and words. I want to have a safe place for people to have opinions and debates and arguments, so please be mindful of the words that you're using if you're responding to someone, because if you're using that sort of vocabulary, I'm not going to approve the comment. On to the topic for this video. Parents are lying to their kids from a very, very early age, and it's setting a basis for their development that's going to do more harm than good. And what I mean by this is that when children are born, they are just pure balls of love, pure love and compassion, and as they start to develop, they start getting lies and beliefs that they believe to be true that affect their identity. And these things over time start extinguishing this little ball of love, and by the time they're an adult, they've forgotten that they are filled with love, and most people don't remember how to love the world around them fully. If you have kids and you take them to a farm or some other place where there are animals around, and these young children see these furry and feathery friends, and that's exactly how they see them. They see them as friends. They don't see different species, they just see furry and feathery friends. They don't see different races, they just see towering giants. The concepts that we have as we get older about different races, different species, and all of this stuff is imprinted on us from our surroundings, our parents, social media, our cultures, and so forth. And then we bring that child home and we put a plate of flesh in front of them and tell them to eat it. And we never tell them that what's on that plate is the same as that furry or feathery friend that they've met. And so we never give them the chance to associate the two. And I think that's extremely unfair, and it's setting up a basis of lies for the rest of their life. If you wait just a little bit longer until the child's maybe 3 or older, their reasoning skills have developed more and they're able to put 2 and 2 together. And a lot of kids will start asking questions. You know, is what I'm eating, was it once alive? Was it then killed? And then the lie is deepened by the parents telling them that what's on their plate is not the same thing as that furry and feathery friend. And that is just wrong. And it's not your fault. You had the exact same thing done to you. But now you have a chance to become conscious of the decisions that you're making and the decisions that you're making for your child. In my opinion, if you want to be completely honest with your children and do things the right way, I suggest that you don't feed your child any animal products until it can make its own decisions. This is still pretty young, like probably under the year 2. If your child understands the difference between alive and dead, not necessarily the concept of death and its full morbid truth, but the difference that if they stepped on a bug, that bug is no longer alive. If your child can understand the difference between life and death, take your child to a farm or somewhere where they can view a cow, a pig, a chicken, a sheep, whatever. You point to that animal and you ask them, do you want to eat this animal? Because if you say yes, a man is going to come and kill that animal, chop it up into little pieces, and give you its flesh to eat. I think that's little enough detail, but enough detail for a child to sort of get the picture. And you let that child decide, okay, yes, I want a man to go and kill that furry and feathery friend of mine, and I'm going to eat it. But I guarantee you that 99.9% of children are not going to select that. Probability is, because your child wasn't lied to from the beginning, that child now can recognize that it's wrong to kill their furry and feathery friends, and they won't want to eat them. Now some of you might be thinking, why is this such a big issue? Why will this affect my children? I don't see the big deal. The problem is as they get older and they start putting 2 together that the pig on my plate was once a live pig, the mind starts making these coping mechanisms to make yourself feel like your decisions are okay. And this is what the basis of cognitive dissonance is. Essentially, your mind is conflicted. You know one thing's true and you know another thing's true, but the two can't go together. And so as your child gets older and becomes an adult, it knows that what it's eating is an animal, that's a truth, but it also knows that killing animals is wrong, and that's a truth. The mind can't handle these two things, and it starts affecting our outward lives because we're not living a life of compassion like we were meant to be when we were born, when we were pure balls of love and compassion. We're not living that way anymore, and we're disconnecting ourselves from our lives. We're disconnecting ourselves from the world around us. We're disconnecting from the people, the animals, the environment, everything around us that is so, so important. Personally, I'm sick of these lies and brainwashing. I'm sick of them because I notice them in myself. It's really, really frustrating to find another thing that you're like, oh, this was another lie that was told to me by my social surroundings or my parents or social media. It's really annoying, and we should give our children the best chance. It is a parent's responsibility to raise that children with good morals and to be a good human. And we're not giving them that option by lying to them before they're even 1 year old. Be truthful with your children all the time, as much as you can. Yeah, you might have to change your vocabulary to make it understandable to a child, but be honest. Give your child the benefit of the doubt, because I guarantee you before the age of 3, they're going to understand what it means to eat a furry friend if you give them the opportunity. This is now your chance also to recognize that you were lied to, and you can break away from that by not eating animals. They're your furry and feathery friends. All of them are. They're not made for us to eat. We don't need them for our health, then the only reason why we're eating them is from habit and culture and convenience, and that is really easy to break. Everyone that you meet that's gone vegan will tell you it's much easier than you think it is. You're just eating plant foods. The cheapest, most abundant foods on the earth are what you're eating. So make the connections, do your part for this world, and stop lying to your children. If you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with other people who might find it useful. And don't forget, it's free to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!